Hi, I'm Francois from Production Music Live, today with Producer Notes, and we're looking at the style of DJ and producer Stephan Jolk, the melodic techno side of him. Here we have a project file modeled after a track from him called Inhibition, and we are working Ableton in the box, everything produced with Ableton stock effects and instruments plus Serum. That's the one we are using apart from Ableton. And maybe later in the video we'll run a few experiments with two other synths just for showcasing some stuff. But we are going to take an overview of the project file and then work our way through it to sort of reverse engineer the style of this track and learn the thinking behind the style to then take away the best bits and apply them for our own music. And Stephan Jolk has since evolved his style a bit over time. He's now making more tribal Afro house things, vibey stuff. But this one here is more from the early side of his sound, the melodic techno type sound. And you can also find this educational project file in the Melodic Techno Start Finish Academy. So with that being said, let's get started. Take an overview. We have a fully arranged track taking more or less 7 minutes with an intro. And then we bring in the bass line. And then we fall into one first break part here. Very mysterious. And then it starts bringing this lead in. And you have this melody going up 2-3 octaves here and then going back down, kind of walking through the scale, and then some pads build up, and then we are entering the first drop, which is a bit more reduced. Super cool groove here, and then we are adding in some hi-hats and some synths. And then we are adding choirs and stuff. And we keep the mystery, and then we have another break here. And another drop behind that. With these tremolo pad leads here. And then outro. Okay, and we have kick and bass in this group. We have our drums in this group. Let's quickly listen in. And the instruments. Synths and pads and everything. And we have the vocals in this group. Some atmospherical vocal shots, and then we have some effects here in this group. Basically some atmos and some sweeps and swooshes. And so let's take a look at the kick and bass first and add the kick here. Nice hard and deep kick control. Root note of the kick is E, and below that we are playing this sort of fake rumble. And that's a recorded rumble, recorded in 2021, as you can see, but it fits nicely here. And you might be wondering, hey, we have this bass sound below it, why do we need a rumble? Well, we have it here in the intro. Let's play it without it. So this really adds to the overall feel of that bass line. And if we're now playing this more groovy bass line on top, or let's first play that together with the kick and solo. And you notice we have a sidechain here. So this triggers our sidechain compressors. Saw wave. And PWM mini. MG low 24 filter. Drive up. And you can see the envelope is quite short here in the decay, 360. And our amplifier envelope is sort of shaping it the same way. And let's take a look at the exact pattern. So Control E, and let's take a look. And we are in C sharp here down there. And together with the kick, it's just already groovy and kind of nasty as well. So, and then we mix in this rumble. Let's quickly solo it again. And our kick and bass line are getting sent into the group here, into the glue compressor. And the rumble goes straight out onto the master, which is basically increasing the gain here with these two limiters. So you could be wondering, hey, that's not really the rule I learned about treating low-end bass and rumbles and stuff, but at the end of the day, what we are doing here is it's kind of one of those learn the rules first so you can break them later type approach, because we are remodeling this bass line here after this track called Inhibition, so we are happy to break the rules while doing so. And it sounds nasty groovy somehow down there. So let's take a look at the drums below this. We have this off hi-hat here. Quite dirty, a lot of frequencies covered, but not too high frequent. We have this soft shaker 16th hi-hat thing here. From the Premium Volume 2, our drum sample pack series. Sending it through the snorts and then cutting off all the mid frequencies that are already covered here. And another 16th hi-hat here. I'm going through this a bit quickly. Yeah, this one has the noise carrier because these don't matter that much. Like the claps are a bit more interesting. And then we can actually go back and activate the sidechain here. This one dropped off. And then this hi-hat on top. Another dirty open hi-hat. Okay, and let's actually start looking at the claps here. We have this clap sound. And this is already interesting. Let's take a look at this actually with just the kick. I'm actually closing these quickly. And then we just have this clap and the kick. And this is super important. We load up a bunch of claps from the Premium 2 and 5 series here. And then we mess around with them, give them different velocities. This is the actual clap position here, but then we are a bit late with this one. Late, early, late. This one is so important. And we have this MPC double down 50 groove applied as well. So there's a little bit of groove in those claps. And then we are combining this with the, what's that, deep clap thing. this kind of wood clap. This one is really important for the sound. Set all the way to mono. And then the interesting thing here is we have this return channel E long reverb set up. So let's quickly open this one up. Channel E, and what's happening here, we tried a hybrid reverb but went for the concert hall, 12 seconds of decay time, super long one. And this one is getting automated at some point. So that's automated here. Isn't that nice? So let's take a look at the drop here. So basically the first clap gets sent into the long reverb, and as soon as the signal has arrived here, we're cutting this down again, so the next one is dry. So if you were to play this one here, this one is dry, but that one. So that's a nice trick to sort of make your arrangement interesting already, just using return channels and the stuff you already have in place. Nice little feature here on that wood clap. Short clappy stuff below this. What's that? And we have more of these. This one is a double clap. And this one is early. So this one is not playing in position 1.4. And this one is right before that. And this one is playing the actual clap position here. And one late. So we are getting a bit of movement into our drum loop basically by doing this. And what a nice deep groove we already have going here. The auto pan sends this one around your ears also to keep it interesting. Then we have this white noise thing. Let's actually copy that over and take a look. This guy here at the end. So if you look at the pattern, see we have a bit going on. It's not super static. Just quickly some white noise here from the noise oscillator, ARP pink or pink noise in this case, short envelope, and then we are sending that through the auto pan here. And we have some delay on the sound. There, the delay and a little bit of reverb as well. Well, I don't know about you, but I really love this kind of stuff here. That's a cool drumming. It's so much fun to just listen to it. We have these, I think that those are actually wrong labeled as toms. These are not really toms, they're percussion elements. Yeah, also some perks from D Premium too. And sometimes when sort of remodeling other tracks, we load up a lot of samples and then look for samples that fit nicely and go together and quickly check and test them out and see which one works. And this one goes together with this white noise. Cool sound as well. Again, sending this through the left and right, through your ears, and then also adding some noise on top. Let's actually listen to it without it. Oh, that actually is a tom. Okay, so it's not labeled wrong. I mean, that's a beautiful little tom sound, actually. Very nice and clean. And then we're throwing a bit of noise on top. Sounds fantastic. Okay, and what do we have here? Very clean, clear hi-hat sound on top of everything. Okay, now we still have a bunch of claps here. Let's take a look at what this group is doing. Solo, solo, solo. So that's sometimes something that happens when you're remodeling a track after a reference track. you need 2-3 sounds to sort of put together one sound that you heard in this original track, but you would necessarily not produce like this if you would only produce forward looking. So I'm not going too much into detail here. We just have these in the intro. They just beef up the clap sound basically in a very subtle matter. So we are not going to focus too much on that. And instead take a look at what we have so far. I forgot this fast hat. So let's quickly take a look what this one is doing. Nice. And this one is coming in here. Yeah, that one gets filtered in. This one is an open hi-hat from the Premium Volume 5. You can, like, if you have the Everything bundle, for example, you have all of these sample packs here in the sample packs section, and you will find them over there. But I'm going back to the Academy Volume 2, PML 324, and we are in control. We're in this project file here, Ableton only, plus Serum. And speaking of Serum, let's move to the synths over to the instruments group. Did we look at what's on the drums group? Let's quickly check that quickly. So at times you can see here we are filtering down the entire drums group. Then it goes through the saturator and through a glue compressor, gluing everything together nicely. And we can also see we have a bunch of return channels here. We have one for the clap. Adding this room on top of that wood clap. And the hats return channel. That's very, very subtle on one of the off hats, long reverb. I think this one picks up on the synths more. Yeah, 12 seconds there. Not sure about this one. Let's take a look at what delay 3 is doing. Picks up on this white noise and tom thing. Someone the other day was commenting, hey, can you show the return channels always? So I'm quickly trying to do this, but let me do it whenever that comes up and they're actually playing something. So going back, let's take a look at the instruments group here. And we're starting with these tremolo pads. Super important to get this mystic feeling. And basically, our bass note is never really changing. We're always playing the same note in our bass line, as you can see here, and it's C sharp. It's just this note throughout the entire track, and we're basically voicing stuff on top of that and playing the scale up and down with our melody, but not really changing like it into a proper chord progression. So we have this voicing here with C sharp and the fifth on top. And then we're playing F sharp, an octave higher, which is the fourth. And then the second. Here, first note, second note, and this is the fourth note. And here we're playing the fifth and the octave. And then the same, oh, it's not the same as this one. We're actually playing the fifth and the second. So it's kind of like a sus2 chord. But voiced up. So these are providing the atmosphere here in the lead parts, and then later we also have pads playing along. But what are we playing with Serum here in the sound? So we have sine waves. This one is an octave lower, this one is an octave higher, and then we are taking LFO1 on our MG low 12 filter. And that thing is going through with a rate of 32. Anchored to the BPM. And envelope 1 here is has a decay of 900 milliseconds, but we're not really getting there. We have reverb activated in Serum here and some delay, and then we're sending it through this EQ, a bit more delay, and then we have some redux on top to sort of get this crispy feel on top. It's very high frequencies. And then we are accompanying this one with another one. Okay, let's play them together. Just some air can noise here. And we are automating the level with LFO1 with this shape over 2 bars. So we have a bit of movement in our air can. And then we are sending it through the phaser. Because if I don't have the phaser active, just have this swoosh, and with the phaser all the way up here. Very interesting sound design. Okay, and speaking of sound design, now we are going to our main lead sound here. This one with Serum in this case. So we're always starting with C, 3 octaves, and then the 5th and the 4th. In the track this modeled after, they're playing is a bit different, but it's got the logic is the same. You're going up, you're kind of raising the call, and then you're getting the response afterwards when we're going back down. Call, response, kind of like the question answer or whatever you want to call it. And basically we thought we were in C sharp minor here in the scale. If we insert the scale, which looks all clear here, but then if we take a look at, hey, what's going on here? If I fold it, we can see one note is falling out. So this kind of, is this an harmonic minor? So let's take a look. The harmonic minor is the one that has the 7th sharpened to create this leading tone. And let's quickly take a look. Which one is it? It's C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it is actually the 7th note. So if we put harmonic minor and we are folding it again, everything is in scale. So it seems like we are in harmonic minor. So that's why. Let's compare with the natural minor. Oof. So for this mystic feeling that we are trying to create here, we are better off with the harmonic minor, at least in my opinion. Let's quickly take a look at the preset. We have oscillator A, an octave higher. Oh no, this one is actually also an octave higher, but this one has 12 voices detuned like that. And here we have a pulse wave, and this one is a saw wave, and also we are adding in some white noise, and we even have this sub playing with the triangle wave here to sort of try to create this fat sound. But then we also know from Stephan Jolk's Instagram, maybe you know, you've seen some of the videos, he sometimes uses the sub 37, the Juno, a Prophet to sort of create his leads. And so maybe we will test around a bit in a second, but this one we try to sort of model the sound with Serum through distortion here and some delay and reverb also on top. And this envelope here controls the filter cutoff. And we have this massive reverb tail, like this long reverb here on E, if we are just using the one that we have on the track. We are still going through saturator, we are going through wide and dirty erosion, and we also compress the signal here with the compressor. So let's actually close it. And then we are sending it through a hybrid reverb, a bit applied 30% and delay, ping pong 3x3, 20, 26. And behind that we sidechain the whole thing. Without the hybrid reverb. And some notes overlap, and we are setting it to mono, legato, and portamento. That's why sometimes the envelope doesn't start opening up again, but actually whenever notes are being overlapped here, you will hear it as one movement. And here and here and here, the envelope restarts from the beginning, and you can actually hear the attacky part of the sound as well, of the note. So bringing the hybrid reverb back. Well, actually, let's listen to it without saturator and wide and dirty. We might have survived without them, but it's beefing up a little bit in the sound, and well, it still sounds like Serum, to be honest. And whenever you happen to have something else at home at your fingertips, maybe Repro, the one actually modeled after the Prophet, this might be an interesting moment to pull it out. And I just threw it here on a duplicate of the track and opened up one of the Tim Engelhardt Serum presets we have on Production Music Live. Check the link in the description. I'm linking to this, the Academy, the drum packs, and the music theory course and everything. And if we take the, well, now I think I changed the preset. I think I had tail lead 3. Well, that sounds a bit more analog, doesn't it? I mean, it also has these effects built in. So opening up the filter a little bit, let's play it instead of Serum here, just for the feeling. I need to turn on the return channel again. This one here for the reverb tail. Yeah, interesting. I mean, you can play around with other sounds and then tweak it to, what are the classic prophecies? Oof, octave lower. Maybe even one lower. That's an interesting sound. I have to turn it down a bit. I mean, this thing has a great sound, honestly. If you can afford it, if you have it, try around with this one. We model this file so many people can actually benefit from it and use it. That's why we're using Serum, but obviously Serum is not capable of doing all the stuff that all these other tools can. Or maybe it is capable, but it's much harder to achieve that. And this one just brings that sound in the box. So I'm getting carried away here. Sorry for that. Let's actually go back. I had another one set up here with Diva, just the init patch of Diva. Here it still says initialize. So if you drag this in, that's the sound you're getting. And I'm just sort of using this LFO here to automate envelope attack. And what is that? Filter depth. I think, yeah, it's the one that comes with the laggy thing. This one is not. There's another default patch I think that's set to envelope 2, but this one, the one I'm talking about, is the one when you drag it in from the effects just like that, and that one has the lag parameter activated, and now we're sort of using these two. Could also use the plate that comes with Diva. It's also a really nice reverb sound. Anyways, let's keep going. Just for some ideas here, how to sort of make this a bit more analog or more like what the artist might have used in the first place. Okay. Synth background, what's this one doing? So this one is here supporting us towards our drop B. Skipping this one as it's not that important, but it's nice to see these little features always. And below that we have stable pads. Just playing our C sharp minor chord here so you can see this properly. We're playing the third, the minor third, and then we're playing a major third on top of that. So C minor chord and the root note copied down an octave as well. So waves here, and then this distorted 8-bit wavetable here with both of them with 8 voices in our unison, and our envelope is a bit late, as you can see. This one here as well, that's the one that's controlling the filter. So we're just looking for this wide sound in the background and pad vocal. What a beautiful patch. So we're using from Organica the female X10C. So that you can find that one in our Organica sample pack by Yannick Mounds. Beautiful one. And this one is generating the voice here. And by setting this root for this part here to G sharp, it kind of gets a little bit of this Phrygian feel, G sharp Phrygian kind of feelings of intensity, mystery, and otherness. Does that sound like without the sine? Sorry. That's just the 6 sine waves here, 6 voices of sine wave, and then the noise on top. It's an absolute beauty. And it works well together with this reverse vocal down here. Okay, keep going with a bunch of drone layers here. Let's quickly go through these. They're just to fill up the frequency range. So octaves. Do la choir and oh yeah oh. And here's a full one. Playing our C minor distributed over octaves, and then sending through an amplifier and everything. But these are not that important. You're playing them in the background, so you just need different vibes and add those in. It sounds a bit like saw waves here. Let's also do the choir and oh yeah oh. But cut off the mid and send more to the highs. Then dirty drone. Yeah, this one is like 10 voices of saw waves, and it's a bit late in the attack here, kind of working like almost like a trombone. And that's how we sort of create our bed of sounds. And then what's this one doing? Again, this is also due to reverse engineering a reference track. You would not necessarily build it forward this way. You would probably stop after 1 or 2 of them and be satisfied with that, especially if you still had this noise atmo here in your effects track. Make that a bit louder. And we're just playing Atmos 7 here from this position, and that's about it. No effects on top, no synths. This is just the sound, what it sounds like. And we have a sidechain behind it, cleaning up the low end here. And then we have a bunch of other sweeps and swooshes, nothing crazy. Reverse cymbal, reverse something else. And these really don't matter that much. Anything that sounds like this you can try and use. This one sounds pretty interesting here with analog. We used the color, the noise oscillator from analog, and then automated the color of this one and moved up the filter here in this notch setting. Sending it through overdrive, through reverb, and then sort of sidechaining the reverb tail. We still have these break pads here, so let's quickly take a look at what's going on there. Yeah, building up tension basically with the fifth, turning it to the sixth, and then we have the root note playing the second up here, and then we are playing the third up there. And that actually also sounds cool. Maybe you notice sometimes you just have these happy accidents while doing something else and you're like, hey, actually I like this sound. Yeah, so we still need these tremolos always, because everything is so sustained, we need to sort of keep the movement in the sound, and that's why we are making use of tremolo type vibrato effects, which we fake into the sound through these LFOs. Here, and what was the patch of that one? That's a massive one. Here's so many voices. Sounds like a complete orchestra. 15 voices of this saw wave, and then 4 of this basic mini sort of in between a square and a saw wave thing. Okay, so we will have a full playthrough of the thing at the end of this video. Just summing up what we've looked at in this session, we basically took a look at the entire arrangement overview in the beginning of the video. We have this intro, bass line, we then fall into this very long break, kind of unusual in today's club music, but this is a bit more epic here, then has this build up, then we have this more laid back type drop, bringing the synths back in later. You will hear the entire thing at the end of this video in the playthrough, and then adding in those beautiful choirs, and then another mini break here, and then you have the second drop. So this is a 2-drop track basically, and then you have the outro so you can mix into the next track. And what are the takeaways? We are basically playing this one note throughout the entire track in our bass, C sharp here, and us voicing our pads on top of that, kind of trying to create mystery, tremolo type effects. Mysterious, dramatic, still playing the roots. This massive atmosphere here, movement through tremolo, through vibrato in our pads, through some LFO effects, and we make it sound more interesting, and sort of the vocal pads on top of that give this more sacred choir feeling. Absolutely sort of hypnotic in a way, and our drumming is super deep. We are not focused too much on high frequencies. We have this deep groove going on here. I mean, kick and bass are already pretty groovy, even if you're tricking into this fake rumble. And the rumble thing is especially needed in our intro. But we still like it, so we keep it afterwards, even if the bass line is already coming in. And then in the lead sounds, we took a look at these massive question and answer, call and response patterns. They already have this very interesting shape. And now you can, if you have a different synth, you can use something like Repro or Diva to mess around and play it even more analog sounding or something like that, if you happen to have these synths. Yeah, and below that we have the drones to sort of round up our mystery feel. Yeah, so this is kind of how you do this early, more melodic techno type sound of Stephan Jolk. And he said in early 2023, quote, "I returned to writing music for myself instead of strictly for the dance floor, and you can expect a lot more down this line soon." So that's where this tribal, more Afro style comes, I guess, from. If you like to see more of Jolk, a while back I made another video on his sound, which was for a remix, which he then never released. That one has very straight and rolling bass line. I'm putting a link in the description. I think it was an Empire of the Sun remix. So I hope you enjoyed this little session. Leave a comment below what you want to see next or what was unclear. If you want to check out the Everything bundle of PML where all the stuff is inside, check out the links in the description. Also for the Melodic Techno Academy Volume 2 here with an entire album of educational project files only worked in Ableton in the box plus Serum. Also, you can find a link to the Repro sound pack that was used here to check out Repro, as well as to the Premium drum series and kicks pack and vocal packs. Putting links in the description. And now let's have a full playback of the entire song and talk to you soon.